What do we know after 2.5 hours?
I do know that I need to make sure I don't take a nap, because if I nap at this hour,
There will be no more hours.
Yeah, there will be no more hours of the day. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
Hello, it is me, Itisdpayne. My shirt is uncomfortable.
We had so much time before we started recording that you could have taken care of that issue.
I've been wearing this shirt all day. I could have taken care of it multiple times.
Well, unfortunately, this episode is not a fashion episode. It's another Courage
just gotta take it off.
More Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, before we started recording, Itisdpayne and I ended up in a very long research list of stuff
next year.
Yeah, of next year's recording plans.
It's gonna be super cool. I didn't know we would find movies that would tell us stats that we didn't care about.
I'm starting to hear thunderstorms by me. Wonderful
I'm
timing.
hearing a truck. Yeah. Nah, I realized when I bought this shirt, I'm coming back to here. It's like half cotton, half polyester. And like all my clothing is cotton. And I'm like, why do I feel uncomfortable? And then I was like, oh no. And so I'm curious. I don't know. I'm having a dilemma because I have lost over the past. My niece's birthday's tomorrow.
Happy early birthday.
Let me mute my phone. When this comes out, it would have been like a month already. Maybe. That really distracted me. What was it? Clothing. Oh yeah, I'm having a very interesting dilemma, which I know I'm not alone in this. When you kind of take health a little bit seriously, and then you end up losing a bunch of weight, and then you're like, clothes don't fit the way they used to. And then you just kind of buy something thinking, this should work because it's cheap and I don't feel like spending a bunch of money. And now it's like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
I didn't buy this for comfort. I bought it because if my body's changing, I don't want to spend a lot of money on something.
Well, I went and bought it. I didn't pay attention, and so I had to buy something else off of Amazon for my niece's birthday. I won't see her till like September, so it's okay that I bought it today. So that will be coming in at some point, and I'll have to test it. But yeah, it's.
Did you get my favorite thing that I've heard? Someone messaged me to say that their sibling had annoyed them, so for their niece.
Oh, they put the harmonicas.
Yeah, did you get your niece a harmonica set?
No, because my brother didn't annoy me, and
okay.
so.
Good terms.
Yeah, she already has one.
They've done it to themselves.
Yeah, so no, I got her. Me and the frequent listener were at Costco, which Hop knew that yesterday, because I sent her a picture of a giant skeleton,
'Tis the season.
which I thought about putting behind me.
Oh, speaking of that, I was at Michael's this weekend, and they still had the orange ombre decor, and we were like, why?
The one we were making fun of?
Yeah, we were like, why are there so many animal bones? What animal is this? Why is it orange to pink? I'm very confused. And it's been out for so long that now they have not the Summerween, but like the regular Halloween decor.
Actual Halloween.
So in like the left corner of the store was like seasonal, and in seasonal it was, essentially what you sent me from Costco. And then in the middle aisle where it's like, hey, we're trying to get rid of this. This is the first thing you see when you walk into the store, was all of the orange and pink, and it was just so confusing.
I'm laughing because I realize my overflowing trash can is on camera, but I'm pretty sure the way I crop these videos, it will not be shown on.
So any audio listeners, make sure to hop over to our YouTube channel so you can see the video version to see if it's there. If you do see the trash can, leave us a comment on the YouTube. Because I have a laundry basket that sometimes gets cut out. I'm lying. I have 2 baskets of clean laundry that I refuse to fold. I simply go digging in them to get them.
If everyone saw the views that either one of us saw of each other's background, like I had to reset my camera and she saw like everything.
Yeah, it seems like your
Which,
room
to be
should.
fair, it is not a lot.
It seemed like you should echo more because I didn't realize the one section was more hallway than it is like just end of a wall.
Yeah, no, the hallway is like, it's like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 feet. Like
It's not very long.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks bigger on the camera, but
Perspective.
yeah. So one of these days, I will be in a place where I can have an office where I'll have LED lights that are synced up to my voice, and it'll be like, and then I'll get distracted looking at my own camera.
You have to hide yourself while you're doing stuff.
Yep. So, except it will just turn out, and I'll just be like, "Whoa, that's cool." I don't know if my mic's picking that up.
Vaguely.
So, but yeah. So who knows? Who knows?
Indeed. Who knows? If
Who
you
knew
know
that we were gonna go here talking about a stupid T-shirt?
You're the one that wanted to go back to the T-shirt. You said no. We're not.
Yeah,
leaving
we're not
this
moving
topic.
on. We're not moving on. We just looked at. When did we start this call?
Like
My goodness,
2:30.
were we looking at movie things for 2 hours? It was like its own movie.
Yeah, I literally said by the end of us trying to do research for our next planned big extravaganza, our next big theme. Dpayne was like, "Oh right, I wanted to be off the call by 6 so I could go and do stuff." And I was like, "Good, because my brain's melting. I can't look at these anymore."
And then we both looked at the time. It's like, oh, well, let's get started. So,
Now that you mention it.
yeah, but no, it's all good because it's like pretty much what this is episode 5 of the Courage series.
In the Courage series, yes.
So, which there's 13 episodes. So we're getting close to the halfway point, which feels weird to say. That stinking A24 series ruined all concept of time for these recording series. But no, I know there's probably soon we're going to have to start asking guests for
The winter series.
Yeah. And I know there's one, I know I mentioned them to you before.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go find out. They're very busy, and if it works out, it would probably be one of the I don't know, most viral people that we'd have on.
Okay.
So anyway, but they are very busy. So I don't know. It got really dark.
I did say I was sorry to hear a storm coming my way, so.
So but any poops, there's that. What we're not talking about movies, and
we will be eventually.
Yes,
if that's how you found us. We're gonna find our way back to movies.
Yeah, we found out that we need to give ourselves a breather, and by giving ourselves a breather from movies, we decided to do a series that is all movies next year. But what? I don't know. I do know.
I'd hope you know. After us looking at the options
I don't
for
know.
2.5 hours.
What do we know after 2.5 hours?
I do know that I need to make sure I don't take a nap. Because if I nap at this hour,
There will be no more hours.
Yeah, there will be no more hours of the day.
Yeah. Oh, man. You know who could help you stay awake?
Courage,
or
the
what helps?
dog.
Well, I was gonna
Courage himself.
Not a blunt force action transition. I was gonna be like nighttime gardening. And now I wonder if I watched the right episode.
Hold on. Let me go to the Wikipedia.
Did you watch the right episode?
I watched the episode with ducks.
I didn't.
A flip. I'm going to send you the Wikipedia.
Interesting. Because that's not what I watched.
I did watch the... Is this episode missing from what the ones that I watched too? This is wild. You said it's episode 5, not 6, didn't you?
Yeah, we're on
Oh.
episode 5.
The streaming service I use is very cursed.
Well, we'll do this. I'll explain this week's. I'll do both ones, and then
I'll do next week's.
You'll do next week's. So, but I'll still watch it. So that way I can.
Yeah,
The words that were about to come out of my the words that were about to come out of my mouth was going to make it sound very condescending. Like, so that way I can take part in the conversation, which was not what I was trying to say. But it was more like, I was like, when you said that, I was like, what? But no, that's what we'll do. So we can still roll dice just to feel nice.
Anyway, for anyone
I rolled
confused,
a 21. What did you roll?
For anyone confused, we're rolling a d20 and a d6 because we're watching like essentially 26 episodes of Courage because they're part A and B. And if you haven't figured it out from the first episode, the streaming service that I put my trust in just seems to be missing episodes.
It's a big old liar.
It's a big old liar.
That's why you should go physical.
I should. But
You had the option.
supposedly, a Walmart near me has it in stock, and I just never go inside.
It's all good. I don't go in Walmarts either.
Yeah, if I don't have to. I got a 12.
Oh, good. I would be explaining it either way. Hey, I think I'm going to just do both this week. If you're okay with that.
I'm totally cool with that. I know
and then we'll let you do next week.
Yeah, anybody who is new here, usually we go back and forth and pick which ones we want to talk about. And here I am, unprepared once again.
It's all good. We can blame the streaming service.
Yes.
So, see, that's why we're professional podcasters. It's because we
Do this
are flexible.
often.
We enjoy talking with each other, even if it's in Gremlin Grumbles. I miss TFT. Which that's more of a me, not a Hop thing.
I miss when I enjoyed streaming. There was like a peak era of it for all of us, I think, where it just felt chill.
Yeah. I think it was before COVID happened.
Before everyone jumped, like before it got so saturated, I guess is what I would say. Because then it turned into the bloodbath of yeah, I feel like it was after the pandemic, all of a sudden people were like, I'm a streaming coach, I'll help you get good at streaming. And then
there was a couple out there, but it wasn't like,
it didn't balloon in the way that it.
Yeah. And it's just like, then you find out that some of them, there's ice cream outside. I don't know if the mic's picking that up.
No.
Well, I'll find out on the record. Well, someone will find out on the recording. I don't see it moving. But anyway, there was definitely people. I know there was somebody who was doing that before, and then it was like in the middle of COVID when no one had anything to do except ruin careers. They like did a deep dive on her. I forget her name. I don't even know if she's still doing it, but like she was like the streaming coach, and now there's like nothing. But it's like all those people, it's like the same thing. They say the same thing, which is just like,
It's true.
Find out trends.
Media.
Yeah. And it's just like it's one of those things that like I don't understand it. Like I understand why, because it's like at that point it's like Fortnite. You're just gonna play Fortnite, do that. So things. The thing is, like, not a lot of people who stream, I think, know if you click on the creator dashboard, you click home, it gives you stats, and they kind of give you like, hey, here's like people like in your community that like you're. I don't know. I'm looking on here and it's like, this person chats on your channel. I don't think I've ever seen this person chat on my channel. Anyway.
Saying that's a liar? The stats are liars?
Yeah, as I'm saying that, but it's just like, I'm like, okay, whatever. It could have came through a raid and like chat was like a quick
saying
jaunt.
hi, hello, hey.
Yeah.
First time.
So there, it could be, but it's got stuff like that. It gives you statistics and like it lets you know, like, hey, who. They added so much information now that it's just like, okay, if you're looking to know like who to support, like who, like blah blah blah, and then they even let you know like, hey, you want to play this game? Here's like over the past month.
How
here's the statistics.
Well, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, and here's like, it's like here's when less people are playing it if it's a bigger game, and you could potentially get more. So Twitch has done a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that people who just want to cry because they don't want to do the work to get noticed. But it's like, but then like all those people like, oh, you got to just do this and XYZ, and then it's I don't know if you heard of the streamer Queso.
Yeah.
Like he is like
he's just got his hoodie on and a crunchy headset, and
he's
not
hilarious.
Good lighting.
Yeah, me and my brother share clips of him, and it's just like, oh my goodness, if I wasn't worried about yelling and annoying all my neighbors, I don't know, I'd probably be close to that. Not that I'm like, I could be him, but I'm like, I feel like I could have that energy if I wasn't worried about my neighbors.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was, what was he just, his love for fast food and fast food that I'm not really interested in going to, but it's it's just I watch that and it's just like any streamer that seems to get big because they're actually entertaining is just like, no, I didn't follow that algorithm.
Yeah,
and
like there's like different niches and different pockets, and it really comes down to, I know the word isn't luck because, you know, luck is an unfair way to look at it, but it's like you need to be aware of, if you want to become famous at it, you need to be clippable. So some people go the negative route and like say terrible things because then it makes its rounds and whatever. But then other people are just genuinely funny, and then people will kind of clip you and then share it or find, you know, say like, oh, I saw this. Who is this? Et cetera, et cetera. So for a
that's
smaller
my problem. No one clips you. You got to do that all yourself.
Yeah, they say for like smaller creators, you need to, like you said, you need to do it for yourself. So then hopefully on some other platform, people are like, oh, I stumbled upon this. I want to watch the full length version of this. Blah, 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 blah.
I still remember, because like what I do is like if I'm on a call with somebody, my whole goal is just to make them laugh. And I think it was me, you, and V playing, and that's when I got the blood chicken. And it's like, oh, what was his voice? It's like, oh, the blood chicken or something like that. And he's just, I don't remember what he said. That's not what he sounded like, but blood chicken was a fun time. That's on my YouTube channel somewhere. It used to be like the highlighted video because I never updated it. Might still be. But yeah, I don't know how we got to streaming, but we did. Oh yeah, the chill times of streaming, and
if you want to still see Dpayne stream though, check the links below. Haha.
Yeah, I think your link is still in there for your Twitch channel.
I haven't. Yeah.
I
just don't log into Twitch.
Well, I think both Twitch and your Twitter are there, and I'm like, she doesn't talk on either.
I'm a
like,
mystery.
Well, I could put some links in there so people could find some of your content. I know the things. I know everything that you sometimes post online. I shouldn't say everything. I'm pretty sure I missed something. Speaking about some things, we were at a fair. I forgot to mention this earlier before we went down our rabbit hole, and this links to rabbit hole, and this will link to the starting of talking about the rabbits. But I was talking about the show. They had like all these rabbits here, and the frequent listener was like wondering what kind of rabbit you had, and I'm like, I don't know. I just know one has like a bigger nose.
Oh, pancake!
I'm like, I don't remember the brand, the breed of the rabbits, and I'm just like going through, and there was one rabbit that it was like this little black floof, it just sitting in the corner, and I'm like, this one's a prize rabbit, and she's like, how do you know? I'm like, it's because they have a fan on it and a nice water bottle.
Aww, baby.
And it's just, but it was just sitting in the corner, just like
Avoiding all contact.
yeah, eyes wide open, while the rabbit in the cage next to it was like kind of lounging out, like staring into its cage, just like, I have to tell you some things. And this one's like, I've heard too many things. Don't make eye contact with the crazy one. But yeah, I couldn't remember what brands you had. I'm like, I've seen
You
I
keep
seen
saying
the
brands,
rabbits.
and it's very
Yes,
entertaining.
I know.
So
I do a lot of food shopping.
the one with the bigger nose, which I've had somebody else DM me and go, "Oh, I love her big nose." I'm like, "Oh, I don't think her nose is very big, but okay." Is she's half Harlequin because she has like the colors like a calico cat almost, and then I think the other thing that they said was Palomino, which is like that light orangey color that she has. Then the other one I have, they say she's a Flemish giant. We're not 100% sure. She's a little bit, if she is pure Flemish giant, she is on the smaller side, but she's like all gray. So we have some theories of what she could be mixed with, but
It's
adopted.
a mini giant.
Yeah, we adopted them. We don't know.
This is-
details.
Now, were you trying to convince Strider to get one that would be like the size of you?
That's
fully
what we
grown?
thought with the Flemish giant, because the most Flemish giants when they're laying down are like the length of a border collie. But
Okay.
her, when she lays down, she's maybe the length of, just maybe like with her feet kicked out. She's still a big rabbit, and she's tall. When she's just sitting, she is like this tall.
I was gonna say, for everybody, all the audio listeners, Hop stretched her arms open, which was her whole camera length. Which I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure when I crop the video, it's gonna her arms
gonna
gonna
get
go
cut
off the camera.
Like probably like a forearm ish, maybe longer. Roughly.
Yeah. So, but okay, yeah. So I couldn't remember if you were wanting to get a rabbit that size, or it was like,
That was the
oh,
goal.
we're gonna have to feed this rabbit steak. So, yeah. But anyway, that was all brought up, talking about bunnies and rabbits, not because I know Hop is a huge fan. Who would have thought, with a name with Hop? But as we start our talk with Courage, I'm just going to give a little synopsis of the episodes, and we're going to chat about it and go from there. But yeah, I'm just going to give a quick run through. So yes, the first episode, episode 5, the first half is Night of the Weremole. And so we open up this episode with Muriel. Well, actually, it's Courage and Eustace just chilling, watching TV, and it's like, where's Muriel? Because Eustace and Courage getting along? That can't be the case.
Never.
And so we go and see that she is doing some gardening in the middle of the night, because that is the best time to do gardening.
She's so unbothered by anything.
Yeah. So this rabbit hops up to her, and she's just like, oh, like, would you like a carrot? And it's just, it takes so long for her to like get the carrot out. And then we kind of see another scene where it's almost like old school Bugs Bunny, like when he kind of goes through the ground and it like kind of burrows up to show where he's going. There's that happening as a mole comes out and takes the rabbit underneath, like back underground. Muriel turns around, she's just like, where'd you go? And decides to be like, do you want your carrot? Sticking the carrot in the hole that's like almost glowing red. And it's just like, here. And the mole bites her, and yeah, she screams and everything. So then from there, they go to a hospital where, do they have the name? Dr. Vindaloo.
That sounds familiar.
Yep, the description on the wiki is Dr. Vindaloo is an Indian doctor described as MD Quack. And he's very close to the Bag family. Oh, and apparently he's one of the few people Courage considers a friend and can confide in. I guess we'll learn about that more later. But this is his first appearance, to where he just sits there and he's just like, "Ooh, there's some swelling," like with that kind of voice, and he turns away, and Muriel's hand is just like puffed up like 8 sizes, and it's just Courage is like, you gonna take a look at that? And just soak it in water. It's okay. It'll be fine. Oh, yeah, just keep soaking it. And he just repeats, just keep soaking it, like over and over and over, to the point where they're just like, they just finally get fed up and left. And Muriel's like, it's okay. And it's just like, with her swollen hand, just like eclipsing Courage's head, just like, just patting him. And he's just like, okay. So they're back at home. They're watching TV. Muriel has her hand in the sink, and she's like, she pulls it out, and the swelling did go down, so the doctor, I guess, knew what he's talking about. To where she looks at the moon and starts having this like transformation into almost a bestial form. As her hair turns red, her teeth get sharp, and then from there, they hear a scream, or no, Eustace is like, go get Muriel, she's missing her show. And so he goes in to get her, and she's eating Courage's food out of his bowl, and then starts to come after him. And from there, it just goes into Courage trying to stop her, and it doesn't work. And then Eustace just sees her like kind of dive into the ground. He's like, we got mice.
Normal reaction.
Yep. He's like, get my mallet. And like Courage is like, no, it's not. And he's just like, nah, get my mallet. And so he goes to search for his mallet, to where Courage runs back to Dr. Vindaloo, and he's just like, oh, that's right. He doesn't go back to Dr. Vindaloo. Muriel scares him so bad that his heart stops and he just dies and wakes up in the hospital. And he's just like, Dr. Vindaloo's like, oh, we almost lost you. It's just like, welcome back. And he's just like, pretty much abducts Dr. Vindaloo. And Muriel's just sitting there in a rocking chair, and she's just perfectly fine. He's like, what's going on? And just like, oh, we're just checking. And it's like, let me see your mouth or something like that. And that's when she transforms back and like bites Dr. Vindaloo and brings him down into the basement. And you just hear him screaming as it cuts to Eustace like, where's my mallet? Just like, to where I'm realizing I wish I had search results work as well as they do for Courage in this show.
His little AI friend. It's so sarcastic, but very, very able to help, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. And so that's when they learn that she was bit by a weremole, and they're just like, how do I fix it? And he's like, have you tried a mallet? And it's just like, no, a cure. Oh, well, you need a hair from the mole that bit her. And he's like, oh, okay, that should be easy. And he's like, just don't get bit, which brings up some questions on like, actually, like, what does it mean to actually get bit by this thing? So from there's 2 different plans where Eustace finally finds his comically large mallet, that he all of a sudden gets cornered by Muriel, where she just is popping up from the floor, and he's just trying to hit where her head pops up, very much like whack-a-mole. Mm-hmm. And it cuts between that and Courage, who is out in the backyard dressed like a bunny. And he's just like, oh, and then he's like, oh, the things I do for love. Like, and it's just like, oh, there's the line. And this is where, like, the second half of this episode, like, a big chunk of it is just reused frames. Because this episode, there, like, both of them kind of felt like there was just kind of parts where it felt like they were like, okay, we just need to fill space fill time. So like it cut. So it had Eustace like hitting multiple like places where Muriel stick your head up, and cut back to Courage, just who was bit on the foot by the mole and was just like shaking his head, and it's just Courage just getting shook back and forth, and he's just like, ah, like, and it cuts back like 2-3 times, and the third time like is when Muriel pops out from underneath the bed, like goes through the bed and tries to attack Eustace. And Eustace never hits her with the mallet. And Courage gets launched out of the bunny suit, and the mole is just like, I'm here to destroy this suit. And is so like focused on like attacking in there, and it's just like it takes them a while to like with comically large tweezers to just pull a hair. And it gets like really close, and it's just like this little piece, and then like he pulls it out, and it's just like Courage just looks at the camera like, really? Because the hair's like a foot long. And he's just like, oh. And so climbs back up. Muriel is like a street shark, just chewing on the ground, just getting ready to bite Eustace. And at the last second, Courage gets up there, throws the hair into Muriel, who stops her from attacking, and then she kind of returns to normal, to where she's watching her show, and she's like, where have you been? You guys missed the whole show. And they're like, oh, okay. And ends with Courage jumping in her lap, and Eustace's like, Muriel's like, what are you looking for mice for with all that? And then Dr. Vindaloo pops out of the ground, like
In his form.
In his were form, and like grabs Eustace and drags him down underneath, and you just hear like multiple like slams with the mallet, and then just Eustace going like, and then just like he starts screaming, and then Courage is getting all freaked out. It's like, is there a doctor in the house? So
But
yeah. It was, the concept was fun, but oh, she was watching. One of the fun things about this was they when they were watching TV, they just had a live action movie just playing on there, like a black and white movie.
yeah, if you want to take a little break of talking since you're stuck with both episodes, I'll read out the trivia for you.
Okay, sounds good, because I'm thirsty.
Yeah, so as Dpayne was saying, there's like actual live footage instead of just when I'm on when I make that offer. But rather than them like animating a movie to put on the TV screen for what's on there, they actually have 2 B movies playing, and the trivia actually has listed what movies they are, because it says that they're public domain. They are The Wasp Woman and The Giant Gila Monster.
We should add them to the list.
Which one would scare you more, Dpayne? A wasp woman coming after you, or a giant Gila monster?
I don't really enjoy bugs coming at me in normal, and like sometimes women are just scary. So I don't know. The wasp woman, depending, could
like,
be.
The Gila monster, I think, is kind of cute. So.
Yeah, look at that dude. You guys can't look at it because that will require me to to put it on the video, and I will forget this. But I don't know.
Oh, the wasp woman does look quite scary, actually.
Yeah, I think they show a little bit of a picture of her in there where she's got like bug eye. Yeah, that's literally the picture on the TV. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, her hair's all frizzy and she's got bug eyes.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, the giant Gila monster.
She's still got a nose.
Good for her. Is literally just the classic, oh, we're going to put toy cars and pretend that the toy cars are real cars.
Watch this. I want to watch the Gila Monster movie.
He just looks like he's hanging out.
Yeah. It's like, huh. You know, you can definitely tell they're toy cars. I wish they made like a video game that was like kind of based on that style of
B-movie.
Yeah, where it's just like, okay, like if it was a survival thing where it was just like and it moves just like as lethargically and like how one of these normal like animals would move, but it's just because it's so big.
That would be very funny.
So, but yeah. Oh, this episode, along with a future episode, is featured on Cartoon Network's Halloween 2, Grossest Halloween Ever.
Do you think this episode's particularly gross?
Not really. I don't know why they would say because I don't even remember the other one that they're mentioning being that big. Oh, interesting. That also makes sense. Some countries, the weremole bite on Meryl's hand was cut out.
Yeah, it seems like on some of the trivia for various episodes, they've cut out some things on these Courage episodes.
Yeah. So it sorry, something popped off my phone. Cool. Leave me alone. Not you, Hop. You don't have to leave me alone. My phone does. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes the errors where it's just like, I don't know. It seems a little bit nitpicky. Like Eustace's mouth doesn't move when he tells Courage to get Meryl, and it's just like.
Yeah, it happens in animation.
Yeah, especially like this old anime. You know what? Like this is probably a really good time to mention. I don't know if you've seen a post of this, but apparently Cartoon Network is like getting rid of all their animated studio stuff. Like there's like it's kind of like how almost this time last year everyone was up in arms for the writer strike for Hollywood and all that.
Okay. Like the SAG-AFTRA and everything.
Yeah. Well, the animators were like, "Hey, we're with you. Like just can you offer us the same thing? Because like we have it worse than you, and it's definitely not getting as much attention. To where they're just shutting down like some of these hand-drawn animation studios, to where some artist went and like made an animation thing to Cartoon Network's studio building, and they projected it on the building of like Cartoon Network, just gathering up all these artists and just like throwing them out.
Oh my goodness.
And they're just playing it on their building. So it's, I don't know,
because I know voice actors are starting to try and join SAG-AFTRA as well. I know not all of them are represented, but
yeah.
I forgot. I wanted to double check which voice actors so that like I'm not crossing picket lines by buying new games. It's hard to keep track of all of it.
That's why you just play very old games. So, but yeah, it is fun. But yeah, I don't know. And if anyone's like, oh, I don't want to pay attention to another thing, it's like, it's okay. There's so many things going on, like so many like injustice and stuff. Like, we're not made to like mentally
hold
everything in.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can't pay attention to that and you're paying attention to something else, that is perfectly fine. I don't know. I know I've been paying attention to a handful of things, and there's some people that are getting very upset with other people, and it's just like, well, the social media is great, and we learn a lot about it, but hey, you got to make sure that you're healthy, because if you're not mentally healthy, there's no way you're going to be able to help other people like going through some things, and whether it's sharing information, helping financially. So it's like, it sounds like it might be a little bit of a cop out, but it might feel like a cop out, but it's just like, how if you're burning yourself from both ends, like you're not really going to be a help to anybody. So that being said, take care of yourself. And then we'll go to the second one. which is Mother's Day. So a quick synopsis of this, and then I'll kind of run through it. Is it's Mother's Day, and Muriel tells Eustace, go visit your mom, and he's like, I don't wanna. Can you come with me? And Muriel's like, no, I'm not going to visit your mom. And she's like, and it's like, take courage, and and so he takes courage to go visit his mom. And I think we learn why Eustace really doesn't like courage. But yeah, so it's just all that, just the joys of visiting parental figures. So yeah, so pretty much it starts off, as I was saying, like with Muriel telling Eustace to go visit his mom, and after Muriel was like, no, and she's like, take courage, and Courage is like, no. And like he's in the other room, and Courage Eustace like, no, I'm not taking that stupid dog. And like he brings out like a one-man band thing, just like playing and having a little parade like in the living room, just going around circles. He's like, yay, and he's just like, fine. And he's like, what? and he's like, you coming along is better than going by myself. And so along the way, Eustace, like, when I give you a sign, I want you to go nuts and attack her like a mad dog. And and it's like him just scratching his face. And he's like, do you get it? And Courage doesn't get it. He's like, I don't know. And so anyway, they show up there, and it's like we see Eustace's mom, Ma Bag, as I believe she's called.
Eustace Bag.
Yeah, she's a small woman with long hair, who I'm pretty sure they just redrew Eustace's head on a little person's body. And it also begged the question of Eustace and Muriel are very old already, at least it's implied.
How old
is Eustace's mom? So anyway, the whole time, like Courage doesn't attack his mom, Courage doesn't attack Eustace's mom after giving a sign, to where he gets frustrated, and pretty much he tries to, when he gets angry at Courage or does something because Courage is getting special treatment, Ma Bag is just like, Courage, what are you doing down there? Get up here. Like, there's a whole instance like she brings Courage out this like mountain of food, and like Eustace is getting mad, and he's just like, and Courage is like, don't look at me, I'm not even hungry. and he's just like, what are you sitting at the table? You get down there. After like Eustace complains that he doesn't have any food, and so he's like, fine. And so as his mom goes by, he yells at him and sits on the floor, and he's just like, Courage, what are you doing on the floor? And it's just it's like, I don't know. And just all back and forth, and where he's like, I'm very nervous because the person I have to go home with is already very angry at me, and now this is just making it worse. And it feels like his mom is just egging it on. And so like Courage is trying to help pretty much Eustace this whole time by like, hey, remember you brought gifts, you did this, and just trying to anything to help out Eustace to be able to like connect with his mom. So like he brings her flowers, she's allergic. She brings out chocolate, it's too sweet.
Yeah. Not a single thing is right.
Yeah, and then the only thing she brings that she likes is a mirror, so she can like spruce herself up. And he's like, all right, let's take a picture. And he's like, hands the camera to Eustace, and it's like, take this picture for us. And so she takes the picture with Courage, and that just makes him even more mad and everything. Which I believe in this episode, this is the first episode that we see the mask from the opening appear.
I'll go check the trivia for you.
Because Ma Bag pulls it out because apparently Eustace was a coward and growing up, and from there it's just like, she says the lines like, you couldn't be a real man like your pa. Like your pa was a real man. You couldn't fill his shoes. And then it just cuts to like these giant shoes next to like a grandfather clock that are just almost as big as the grandfather clock. Where Eustace gets mad and just like, I'll show you I'm a man. And the way they decide to figure this out is through an arm wrestling contest, to where Eustace is losing and he's like convinces Courage to pretty much help cheat. So he grabs the flower, sticks it in her face. She sneezes and Eustace like wins. But in her sneeze, if it turns out that she has a wig on and she's bald, and so, excuse me, so she's like, "Oh, how can you love a mom that's so ugly?" And he's like, "Ma, I don't think you're ugly." He takes off the hat, and it's like a sweet moment because they're both bald. And then they come back, and he's just like, yeah, just very sarcastic, like, whatever. And it's like, I don't want to. He's like, yeah. Said we should visit real soon, and that's when Courage shows Muriel the group photo of him, Ma, and Eustace together. But there is a very weird like scene where when they at the end when they come in and Courage is walking on all fours, and it's just like it's a very weird looking animation because it's just you see Courage mainly just tapping along on his hind feet, and this one he walks in on all fours and it's like, oh,
Are you pretending to be more like a dog?
yeah.
That kind of
and
thing.
and it's funny because Ma Bag pretty much, it's whether she does it on purpose or just doesn't know, but pretty much says Courage is her son, like, or their son. Let's see if it's in the thing here.
Let me see.
Listen, it's just up.
I see her personality. She's an incredibly two-faced person, insecure, sweet and caring personality around Courage, mean around Eustace.
Yeah,
Are there quotes on her page? Let me see.
yeah. I don't know if I miss, like, if it was something where his mom is talking to Eustace and talking to Eustace, she says son, but I caught it and I thought she was talking to Courage.
There's no transcript for this one.
Yeah, this is one of the episodes that is like, I need some work. So
Yeah, and I tried looking up. It doesn't list in the trivia. This is the first time the mask appears in the show, and then they don't have a link to the mask in the wiki, so I can't really like backtrack to find out the first time the mask is shown up.
I think it's the first time, but so anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much the episode. It is a very different episode, much more like, it doesn't have, like, I guess the horror of visiting your parents,
Your family.
and like dealing with, because they both have their own like unspoken trauma with each other, which is not the focus of the episode. It's more like, haha, poke fun because they can't communicate well. And so, but no, it is a sweet episode and everything. Not a lot of horror. It is quite the different episode because, like, after we had the episodes where Eustace was technically the villain, we get a couple episodes where Courage and Eustace have to work together.
And then you get Eustace lore.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. It just reminds me, I think, of this video I think I saw this week. I don't remember when it was, but it was just like, it was talking about like parents, the way they feel like how they judged they did a good job raising their kids, and it's like, I guess, I don't know. It kind of reminded me a little bit where it was just I think it was like a grandson talking to his grandfather, and he was talking about how, oh, what was it? It was just like, he's just like, yeah, like their grandma was like, yeah, I raised your dad right and everything, and he's just like, oh, well, dad actually said that like you did X, Y, and Z, like to do, like trying to remember what it was, where it was something on the lines of like you like you worked and everything, but you were home for any of their games and stuff and everything, and and it's like you're always working. And then the grandfather's like, well, it's like you look at that, and he's like, well, it's like, yeah, I wasn't there for anything, but hey, my dad used to beat me. And it's just like stuff like that where it's just
good old generational.
yeah. And so, but it brought in the context where it's just like every generation is like working on some sort of I guess what it,
part of the cycle.
yeah. So it's just because your cycle is the one you're dealing with now doesn't mean that there is something that hasn't been worked on. And it was just like, oh, that's neat, because so then it's just like so yeah, that's why it's like, okay, well, my dad is at all the games and everything like that, and it's just like, okay, well, my dad was at all my sports games and stuff, but I didn't really know my dad. And so it's like, that's why there's like parents, like a lot of them like trying to get to make sure that you're part of at least on the father's side,
Be more active.
Be more active in the kids' lives and stuff. And so it was an interesting like way to look at it, which had nothing to do with this episode, but it's
family.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what family trauma you're gonna break off with your rabbits, and I don't think that's in the cards for me. So, so yep. So now we just got to pressure everyone else popping out kids. Hey, what are you gonna do better? What do you mean?
Give me a list of your traumas and which ones you're going to carry on and which ones you're going to X out. Oh, this one my kid doesn't get.
Yeah. It's like, I don't feel like dealing with that. I'll let them deal with that with their kids.
They can do the hard part. I'll just sit here on the sidelines. Good job. You're doing better. Not every day's a good day.
Yeah. My goal is to be the uncle that is just, I don't know if it's the cool uncle or another, but it's the uncle that was there, and then when the kid gets too old, because mom and dad are both pissing her off, she'll be like, Uncle D, can I come over? And I'm like, sure, whatever. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah, so those are both the episodes. Was there anything you saw in trivia or stuff while you were looking around?
Yeah, there is a little bit of trivia for the Mother's Day episode. So you mentioned like the talking to her, like referring to her as a son, so you weren't sure if it was specifically like courage or whatever, but it just seems like they mentioned that Eustace has picked up his generational trauma and applies it to Courage, where she calls him, or Ma Bag calls Eustace stupid boy, Eustace calls Courage stupid dog, and then scares him with a mask and all that. Let's see. It's her first appearance in the show in this episode. She's nicer to Courage than she is to Eustace. You already talked about being bald. Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is one of the few episodes where there's no supernatural phenomena to occur. So that's a fun little bit. Mm-hmm. And the flip side, no antagonist. And this one's not creepy. And then I like the last trivia. Muriel dislikes Eustace's mom.
Yeah. it is interesting that we do learn a little bit of courage lore as he when Ma Bag does not want the chocolate anymore, just tosses it to Courage, and Courage eats the whole thing with no problem.
Not very dog-like of him.
Which does beg the question: is he human or is he a dancer?
Is he wearing a dog suit? He's a person in a dog suit.
Maybe he is actually their son. So, but yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, it's hard for me to contribute because I came very ill prepared, but next week I got it.
It's okay. We're very prepared for next year.
That's where we put all our prep time into.
Yep. That's why I said, hey, let's meet at X, like whatever time I said, because I'm like, I'm going to get home and I'm going to watch the show. So that way, all that. There's a very fun, and I'm really hoping this doesn't turn into something terrible that I just don't know about, but there's a hashtag on Twitter called Eating Tweet, and it's just people posting food.
Good luck.
I'm just enjoying looking at all the food. It's very tasty. That's a donut. It's very wholesome, and I'm going to stop scrolling here so I don't ruin it for myself. Oh, there's
on that note,
Korean barbecue. French fries. I did not stop.
You are about to cook, and I realized my late lunch is now turning into it's
late
pretty
digestion?
digested. Yeah, I think so.
It's like more.
Yeah, now my tummy is rumbly, much like Courage in most of the episodes. I like how every time Courage wants to say something, they're like, I'll get out of here. I'll feed you later. Muriel, she's always in the kitchen. She's like, oh, Courage, is this what you want? And he's like, no, there's more dangerous things happening, woman.
Question is the next episode, is there a line where it's just, what am I going to make now? Strudel.
Yes.
Okay, I was like...
That is in the next episode.
This episode is one I remember quite well.
Is it because I said ducks and you're like, ducks?
I'm looking at I was looking at the art for the title art. I was just saying there. So yes, tomorrow next episode will be the Duck Brothers and Shirley the Medium, not the large or the small.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Oh, hey, I recognize Shirley. They just posted a picture of her on the wiki. I'm like, oh, wait, it's that character.
Yeah, she's a fun character.
So, on that note, thank you, everyone, for watching, listening. I don't know, eating cheese, whatever you guys do when you're doing this. And we will appreciate if, I don't know, tell friends, enemies, your groceries, I don't know, to listen, check it out. And with that, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.